Alright, second tries the charm, maybe. So, first video was very, very rattly, but I needed to do a video so I could tell everyone why I haven't. And this is why. These boxes right here, and this entirely new to me house. It's not a new house, it's from the 1930s. Well, 1930 on the nose, really. And this is it from the outside. You will not get to see the inside today, as it is just full of mostly boxes and some bits of furniture. So I've been working on moving for quite some time, and that's why I haven't done any videos. It's taken up like 100% of my free time that wasn't also skateboarding. So this is my yard, and I have a few acres, really just a few. It's not like I'm out here with 600 acres, but I have a creek on the right side of me here, and this sweet cement fence, which I really like. I think it looks cool being really dirty. But yes, there is a creek over here that I doubt holds any fish, but that's not going to stop me from trying to catch a fish, which I will likely not do because I am unreasonably bad at catching fish. But I like the act of trying. So, as you can see behind me, there is a large shop on my land. We will see that later. There's a ladder that I talked about in the first video, but I wanted to make sure you could see it in this one. So, when I talk about... we'll get there. So, I've got pecan trees. I have walnut trees. I have running water. Reasonably flat land. A sort of pavilion thing back here. I don't know if you probably can't see it at all, but I can actually hear the creek now, so you couldn't initially hear it. And it is just a creek. I think there's, oh good grief, I think there's a better spot to view it back here. Yes, right here. This is a good creek viewing area. So, my running water over here, at the very least, I could probably catch a salamander in there or something. Which is much easier because you do it with your hands. But there's also critters other than birds. There are snakes, which have deposited their eggs about my property. And rather than readjust the camera, I'm just going to hold it over my head to walk to these other snake eggs. So, any of you guys in the know about snake eggs, you can just holler at me what those are and whether I should be terrified of them or not. I'm pretty sure I shouldn't, just because, you know, snakes are easily shot. So, part of this creek is actually fed by, I guess, rainwater just coming off of my land. Over here on my left, you can kind of see the little creakiness that it's starting to turn into. But it just, like, the water collects in the low spots and flows into the creek. Sounds like there's a car out here, but I know there's not. So, anyway, here's this pavilion, which, it actually has water out here. There is power out here, which, if you ask me, is a long way to run some power, but, you know, I'm thankful that whoever did it, did it. I'm eventually going to have to change the light fixture out here, like as soon as a bulb goes out, because there's so many mud dauber nests that I couldn't possibly, like, actually pull a bulb out. And yeah, everybody thinks I'm crazy for using this light switch or power switch, but it hasn't killed me yet. I don't expect it to. It was raining yesterday when I turned it on. Well, snowing yesterday when I turned it on. And it was all wet. It still didn't kill me. But we got the fan up there. And earlier those LEDs were actually blinking. And now they're not. So the first video I did, they were blinking, and I didn't know why. But they're not. And now I'm even more confused. Anyway, so we can switch that breaker back off. But yeah, we got water here. See, my little water spout. And then just past this pavilion, like, this is the absolute corner of the yard. There is a somewhat disturbing ladies' room, which is, it's basically just a pee-pee toilet. But, you know, I can pee anywhere. It's my place. And anybody, you know what? Anybody can pee anywhere out here. I don't care. Just, you know, you can't be embarrassed for your junk to be seen. But here's the piece of creek that I was really interested in, because it seems fishy enough. Not really so much down here, just this one spot. But, you know, a fish would have had to have gotten in here at some point to be able to be catched in here. I don't know. We'll figure something out there. I do have train tracks right at the back of the property. I'm sure the wind is making enough noise that I'm going to be upset about this video as well. But it's not going to sound like a can of marbles, so it'll be fine. Wind is wind. You can't do anything about that. Unless you have like one of the big fluffy microphone things. It looks like a very fuzzy warm sock. As I was saying, train tracks all to the right of me, which it goes pretty much all the way across the back of my property, and the trains really don't bother you that much. The first couple of nights that I was here, the very kind conductors would just blare their horn from one corner of the property to the other, you know, at 3 in the morning, when everyone knows that's the best time to do it. So that wasn't really very nice, but I don't even know if they're doing it anymore because I just sleep through the night. So if they are continuing to do it, I haven't heard. Where is the sun? The sun is behind me. I'm trying not to be all backlit and hard to see. There's really a lot of birds out here, and I like that. The first morning I got up here, I was wondering why I didn't have anything to make coffee, and looking out the window to find a red-headed woodpecker hopping backwards down a tree. It did not peck at said wood, but it did entertain me. And you know, the good news about having to do 2 videos is I was almost to this same spot when this cold wind started making my right eye water. Like always happens with me. I guess the cold wind is just so beautiful I can't help but cry. But it does keep my eye very moisturized. So I really don't have to worry about it drying out in the wind. But you can see the fence trees to the tracks, that's pretty much the other corner of said yard. And having those train tracks back there, as high as they are, it really affords me the luxury of being able to shoot like a wild man on my own property. As long as I'm not shooting, you know, just slightly up. I'll hit nothing but gravel, which is nice. I like having property I can shoot on. Otherwise, what's the point of having so many guns? So here's the shop. Huh. I didn't notice those pulleys before. Don't really know what they're for. We'll figure that out later. So in this shop over here is my favorite area, which I probably shouldn't say. My favorite area is with my family, right? Anyway, it's kind of hard to get in this shop. The door sticks a little, and there's no handle, so you gotta really grab it and then just fall in. That's the easiest way. And then we turn the lights on, and there is an automotive bay here. At least that's what it used to be. It's probably not going to be that. But then our swinging saloon doors bring us into the lounge with pool table, bar, comfy pleather chairs, encyclopedias from 1974 and a ceramic grouse, dogs in uniform pictures. That's some good stuff. We can't forget about that. Painting I did in high school. The bottles that remind me what not to buy because I've already tried it. Or, in the case of these, what I would gladly buy again. I have my Glenfiddich picture, Red Ryder BB gun on the gun rack that I haven't decided where to put yet. Obviously, there's going to be a television somewhere. Not quite done in here. As if you couldn't tell. And then we come down here. This is the scary toilet room. So, there's no sheetrock or really walling of any kind. And there is a horribly disgusting toilet at the moment. I don't know if that water's actually turned on, but there is a separate septic tank for that somewhere. That was the best information I could get. The owner prior to the one I bought this place from built his own septic tank for the shop, buried it somewhere, but didn't bother telling anyone where. So this part of the shop down here, I intend to have skateboard ramps in. And the main reason is roll-up door that I could actually roll up. The other one is missing the chain. I can't roll it up right now. But there's also an exhaust vent here. So in the summer, it can keep you cool. But there's still more, because down these little stairs here, we have what was once, I guess, some sort of barnish thing, but previous owner had it as a woodworking area, so there is a lot of electrical outlets down here. Another roll-up door. Barn door that needs to be fixed, and oh, that is terrifying. So I didn't notice that until just now. But how strong does a spider have to be able to hang baby birds up there? Boy, that is something else. That's one tough spider. Anyway, we'll leave the corpses gently dangling and go up to what is currently my potential favorite spot. And only because it makes me think of Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse. But it's not like, it's not a sweet rooftop to have your lady on. It's just a hayloft. And I don't, good grief, it's warm up here. That's fantastic. Anyway, you just take the old pipe out the way. And look at that. Is that not fantastic? You can see the old ramshackle shed right there. If you look a little to the right, you got the tree house that has no ladder. So it's, you know, it's not going to be an easy thing to climb up to without a ladder. And I don't want to carry my ladder out to it. And then you saw that ladder by the tree. Well, it's not tall enough for that. So it almost makes you wonder why that ladder's out there. But, you know, it is what it is. So I like this hayloft. And you know what? This cardboard I may put that cardboard down as almost like an insulating area. Ooh, a train horn. Well, that's neat. But I may put it down as like insulation on the floor and then put some sort of genuine floor. I had this idea in my head of, you know, eventually getting a new bed in my bedroom, taking the old bed, bringing it up here, because why the hell not? I mean, sure, you might hop into bed with a squirrel or a black widow, but, you know, it's not her fault her husband died. Anyway, so this is where I am now. And it brings me to my next talking point, which is actually about the channel itself. Initially, the idea was for the channel to just be walking in the woods. When I started talking about it, it was just going to be me in silence walking through the woods with a camera. And it's obviously evolved, even in the few short videos that I've done. But I've decided to just take it in an entirely different direction, pretty much. Not so much cutting out walking or anything. It's always going to be walking. But it's not necessarily going to be in the woods. There's a lot of neat stuff that's not in the woods. So why not walk around in the neat stuff? Rather than just limiting myself to the same kinds of trees and bushes that we're going to see all the time, I could look at some buildings or go to different countries. Which brings me to another point. I don't even remember how long ago it was. Was it like a year ago when I was talking about, you know, exciting things to come before the Corvids messed everything up? Well, there's still exciting things to come. There's plans being hatched like the eggs of a snake. But I just don't know when they're going to come. But it will come. I have other plans in store whilst I'm waiting for those plans to go through. So I'm planning plans for planned planning. I'm going to take a walk to a place of Georgia lore, and hopefully it will be very interesting and not as short as I fear it could be. But Even this video is not as long as some of the other ones, and I'm alright with that. They don't have to be long, as long as there's a neat walk, and I just ramble on about bushes and trees and snake eggs and history, I guess. But anyway, that is it for today. And I appreciate you coming along with me. And as always, you'll see me next time.